Okay, Dustin, I got your order here. I'm not gonna demo this or anything or hook it up, but it's brand new. As you can see, you can tell sometimes when you hook these up, you know, they get. Let me make sure. Yeah. Sometimes when you hook these up, you know, I use the little alligator nuts, the wire and screw-on nuts, and sometimes they get roughed up, but you know, they work for what they are. I don't think I have any more of these, so this was the last one I had, and I don't plan on getting any more. I'm kind of just over this part of the hobby, selling these little guys and stuff. I mean, they do work well, don't get me wrong. I mean, I kept a couple for myself just because I do enjoy it, but the main thing to take away with this is you need to get yourself like a low pass filter or something like that, because these don't have any filtering, so they're very dirty and they have a lot of spurious emissions. So you need to get like a 30 megahertz low pass filter, run it on the output of this, or a band pass filter. They make a band pass filter for 10 meter or whatever. You can get one that would work with this radio too. So it's totally up to you, but I do recommend that. So I wouldn't run it without some type of output filter. So here's your radio here. It ends in, what is it, 655, I think. 656. Okay, so this is the President George, and just a quick alignment on this. Like I say, I'm not gonna demo this or anything and show it with the radio, but I will give you a couple pointers anyways. Your Wilson 1000 is already on the way to you. That's coming direct to you from the Wilson distributor, so that's already been shipped with FedEx ground, I think, or home delivery or something. So you've probably already seen that. Prices keep going up on those kind of antennas and stuff, unfortunately. So you know they're expensive now. The shipping is expensive because it's a two-piece shipment. They ship the whip in one package and the actual load and the magnetic base with the coax in another box. So it's a two-box shipment. So yeah, you know, it's just what it is anymore. It's hard to ship large boxes because carriers want a lot of money. But you know, it's on the way to you, so you should probably get that before you'll get this stuff. And yeah, let's get this going, and then I'll get this two items boxed up for you and hopefully have them shipped off today. Again, on these I don't charge for the quick alignment because all I really do is set the carriers and then touch up FM deviation and AM modulation, and that's it. What I mean, these out of the box, hello radio, hello, they do pretty good. So it's not a slouch, that's for sure, for a regular, you know, normal type accepted CB radio. This is sideband. Hello radio, hello radio. So you definitely don't want to put this into the amplifier, it's way too much. So this is the pointer I'm going to give you. And of course, you know, you need to have your own way to measure accurate peak power, because what I show you here doesn't necessarily mean that's going to jive with what you have, because you know, impedances are different on antenna setups and all that stuff. I'm going into a Bird 1000-watt dummy load, so you know, I'm pretty good with what I got here. Even at level 5, it technically is too much. I know the amp can take this much drive, but you know, 10 watts peak is really all you need to get 100 out of these. You get them over 100, sometimes you can even make them do 150, but really you're just saturating it, and probably it's not going to sound as good as what it would at 100 watts. So you know, we'll go RF power down to, that was level 4 actually, so this is RF power level 2. So at RF power level 2, that's probably a better drive setting there for this little amplifier, if that's the reason for it. I know it doesn't seem like much, but these have about 10 dB of gain, so you get about 10 times what you put in. So you know, run it conservatively, run it you know, like this, and it'll last you forever. If you overdrive it, I'm not saying you'll blow it up right away, or you may never blow it up, but there's a strong chance that you would. So again, sideband, it's at 0.2, and you can see here when you talk, you don't get a lot of SRF. Another thing with these, if you're going to run this mobile, there's been so many guys in the past that have ran these newer modern radios with the SWR protection circuit, where you'll get false detection on SWR protection when you're running an amp. There's nothing really I can do about that. That sometimes happens. Sometimes just changing length of jumper from point A to point B can make a difference and stop that from happening. So the jumper length is critical, and I can't give you an example because every vehicle installation is different. But never go with the 3 foot. But in some cases, a 3 foot is what you need, then do it. But generally speaking, usually it's not. But I have heard of guys saying that they had to use a 3 foot. Other things that can happen when you unkey on AM or sideband, the amp will unkey, but the receiver doesn't fully come back, and that's the relay like latching up in the amp. And why does that happen sometimes? I don't know, but it usually only happens in mobiles. These are just things I've heard throughout the years, and that's part of the problem, you know, that I've had, and it just creates unnecessary stress in my life that I really don't want. And that's why I'm not really going to mess with these ever again, as far as, you know, selling them or anything. So this is the last one. But these are just things that have happened, and normally guys can self-diagnose stuff on their side and figure it out, but usually it's something to do with jumper length, whether you have to increase the length or decrease the length. So that's something that I've noticed with sometimes these latch up and you don't get the full receive sound back, and people that have had that happen will know what I'm talking about, as well as false SWR protection. So that's something I've seen too. I'm not saying that's going to happen to you, but just to make you aware of things, I'm going to kill that because I don't like that. We're going to go SWR, and that's pretty much it in here. It's real basic. So now when we key up, we're going to see our SWR there. So we're good to go there. So let me align this thing really quick, and then we'll take a look at the power. Although we've already kind of seen it. We're not going to see much more power out of this. But they do well, though. Okay, on this one, your FM deviation is capped at 2.15, which is all you can get because this is type accepted, so it's firmware locked. But it's better than where it was at like 1.67 or something. It was kind of low, so that's the extent of that. Carrier. On AM, we're going to set it to about 4 maximum. Now, if you have this off, let's say you have the power switch off on this, you can run, I believe, the full power through it. You're not going to hurt it, but just don't flick it on and forget that you have your RF power setting all the way up, because it's not good to do that. These will burn fairly easy, so they're not very robust, and SWR is a killer of them too. So you know, those are the two main things that kill those, is overdrive and SWR issues. So I can't help you with the antenna, but hopefully you have some type of antenna analyzer, or you can use the President thing that's built in for the SWR. That's a good option for setting up an antenna. It makes the audible sound, and you turn the volume up on the radio, that kind of thing. So let's do our modulation really quick here. We'll do the low power side first. Alright, so it's not terrible. It's like 84% according to the modulation analyzer over there, and we're gonna bump it up some. It doesn't look like it changes a lot here, but it does. It's about 96.6%. Now if we look here, that's 100% at that little line. It's 120, so we're pretty darn close to 120%. It doesn't seem like a lot, but it is. So it's not going to be one of these radios that's going to like give you like that home run sound on AM, but if you're looking for a quality sound and clear, this is it. You know, people need to choose what they want. You know, there's other radios out there for that. And when I say that home run sound, I mean it's like a very, very like pronounced and super loud modulation, and some guys like that. But some guys also don't care about that and they want clarity. So this is the high power side now. You can see with the test tone we're about double RMS, so it was set at 4, now it's at 8, so you know it does okay. Alright, so we can obviously take this to extreme like that, and there's no reason to, but that's good there. So now we'll stop this. I'll take another quick peek here. So again, this little line here is your 100%. This is 120, so pretty much there too. So hopefully that makes sense. And everything's looking good. Let's zoom in on that and see. Yep, we're looking mighty fine. So that's why it's super easy. I'm not really gonna charge for that, and that part is done. So I will just come back and we'll put this mic back on, this President mic of mine here, and we'll just quickly check the power. And I don't really foresee to see much difference. So again, I'm gonna leave it kind of low on sideband. I think it's mode independent. We'll find that out in a minute. But so again, on sideband, you don't need more than 10 watts PP. And again, if you don't have a good quality PP meter, then I guess use about 0.2 as a reference. Because if you have like a dozy or a static or one of these other CB style meters, you're not going to see the power. You might see 3 watts or whatever on your meter right now, but it's just what it is. So this amplifier on AM, 1 2 3 4 5, check hello, 1 2, probably, yeah, it's not mode independent, so it stays at the same level. So 0 4, let's see where that takes us. So it's about a 2 watt carrier, and you know, we're probably going to see 4 times here, so I would say this is probably about right for driving that. Now again, you're not looking to drive the piss out of the thing. I mean, if you want more power, then buy a bigger version, you know. But if you want to run it the best way, then run it at like 100 watt output or something. Don't make it do 150, because yeah, that extra 50 watts is cool on the meter and everything else, but in reality you're not gaining much. So, and you know, even at times you may not get the full 100 out right now, but you can see my voice sometimes peaks up to 10 watts. So at 10 watts peak, you're definitely going to get 100 or slightly more. So this would be the better way to run it. We'll go to 0.5. That's probably as high as I would run the carrier. So at level 0.5, that probably would be the most. And you know, you're not going to blow it up running just a little bit more than 10 in, but it's when you start going at that 20-30 peak mark, that's too much for these. So that's my advice for you. Hopefully it all works out well for you. I don't even know if this is what you're using it with, but I know you bought it together. So that's all I can really do to help you there. So let's just check the transmit frequency. Actually, I can just do that here. This is on the GPS reference. So we'll go to FM mode for that. And span down. Yep, so she's right on frequency there, 27205.003. So it looks really good. And we'll just quickly check the receiver here. Okay, so I'm talking on my Kenwood right now, going into my outside dummy load. So this is let's see, about 100 watts on AM out of my Kenwood. 1 2 3 4 5. Sometimes less, just depends. But I'm talking on my RE20 with my AC mod, and I'm using an outboard equalizer, so we're definitely picking up my signal here. Let's switch over to sideband, and I'll be right back. Sorry about the feedback, but sometimes that happens when we're close in proximity there, but there's our clarifier, it's working, and we're doing probably about 80 watts right now because the radio has an aggressive ALC, which is good. We don't want to distort or overpower on sideband, so the AC mod doesn't work on sideband, it's disabled, but you can still use the processed audio through the, if you want to run processed audio through the Pro Tools, or you can use the EQ, and that's what I'm using right now. So I'm passing the equalized audio through the AC mod board, but it just is a pass-through, there's nothing else there. And yeah, it doesn't sound the best because I'm feeding back, but it is receiving, and there you go. And we'll quickly check if we can pick up any weather band too. Okay, there's the weather band, so we're just picking it up off the center of the coax here, so you can kind of see how I got the coax kind of cockeyed off the connector. So we're basically just picking up a signal off the center conductor of the cable, and we're able to pick up the local more weather. Obviously it would sound better if I had an antenna sitting here, but just to show you that that works too. A little less static and distortion when I turn the volume down. So there you go, Dustin. I hope you enjoy it, and we'll get it sent off to you today, hopefully. 73.